The first of 2022. Is it recording?
Yep. What's up, guys? It's Kayla
And Jim.
and welcome back to another Meteorology Monday, the first video of 2022.
That's right.
We are off to quite the start. I just got my wisdom teeth taken out, so if I don't talk much in this video, that is why. Been an interesting week, but
It's been a minute since we dropped the last Monday.
yes.
We had holidays and wisdom teeth and stuff, but we've been doing some work here, and to get prepared for 2022. We're very excited about what we're going to be dropping for this month and February as well. Just a lot of exciting things this year. So
Definitely.
glad to be back for another Met Monday.
Yes, we had a great holiday season. Hope yours was the same. What are we talking about today?
So today's Met Monday, this was prompted by a recent event in early December of 2021.
It's not the tornado outbreak yet. We're going to do it. We promise. Not yet.
It's on our list. But because it's still winter, this headline caught my eye. And it was a blizzard warning for Hawaii. What? So, does it snow in Hawaii is the question.
That's the question.
It was very, very interesting. So the National Weather Service in Honolulu prompted this warning based on the weather situation that was occurring. And they had snow up to 12 inches, as well as winds up to 100 miles an hour. So prompting them to issue a blizzard warning for parts of Hawaii. But before we get into those details,
make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below.
that too.
Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below so you never miss another Meteorology Monday.
So when you hear blizzard warning in Hawaii, what are the images that you think of?
I'm thinking of beachgoers enjoying a nice day on the beach, maybe a tropical rainforest in the background, and then all of a sudden the snow falls from the sky and the temperature drops like 300 degrees.
That's right. You've been watching too many apocalypse movies.
My bad.
But yeah, it does prompt those kind of images. You're thinking there's the beaches, and it's snowing on the beaches. There's snow on the resorts and the trees, and then with these strong winds, trees are being toppled over, and all this chaos is going on because of the storm.
Basically, you just described Day After Tomorrow in Hawaii.
Day After Tomorrow in Hawaii.
That's exactly what we're picturing.
So it definitely was something that piqued my interest, and I had to read the article, and then led me to looking at the products issued by the Honolulu National Weather Service. The blizzard warning for Hawaii is kind of an over-exaggeration in the mind when you just think about that, because Hawaii is comprised of a number of islands in the chain. But some things that some folks might not know is that the island chains, some of them are mountainous that extend up to 13,000 feet above sea level. So, you get up to very cold temperatures, and if you have sufficient moisture that's moving in, it could cause snow, and especially if the jet stream dips down far enough, like it is in wintertime, depending on certain conditions, La Nina, etc., it can cause those winds to again move over the islands and produce very, very strong winds, in combination with the moisture, aka snow, at the higher elevations causes blizzard-like conditions.
Yeah, it was very interesting when I was researching this topic as well, looking into it, knowing that the big island of Hawaii has 7 different climate zones, ranging from like deserty to like rainforesty to actually polar regions as well, which has cold and snow, and it's like that's not what my mind jumps to when I think of Hawaii, but the climate regions are there. I learned something new.
That's right. Yeah, we both did. It's a very good clip. We will post it in the description below.
Yeah, we'll post a little video.
He did a great job on that video discussing the different climate regions of Hawaii, and it was a good learning experience. So let's dive in a little bit more. One thing I wanted to do was I Googled how often does it snow in Hawaii, and actually found an article from Ken Rubin from the Department of Geology and Geophysics at the University of Hawaii in Honolulu. And this was posted, I don't know the exact date it was posted, but he had a good write-up here, and I'm going to read this to you. Someone had asked, I would like to know if it can snow in Hawaii. He responded, the answer is yes. It snows here every year, but only at the very summits of our 3 tallest volcanoes. Now, I'm not going to butcher the names here. Come on, Kayla, try to say those 3 for us.
I think it's Mauna Loa, Mauna Kea, and Haleakala. But again, I'm not from Hawaii. I know that I'm saying Hawaii wrong. So,
hey, you know what? You're saying it probably a whole lot better than I am, so we'll go with it for now.
We'll just go with that. Apologies if you're Hawaiian.
The snow level almost never gets below 9,000 feet in Hawaii during the winter, but since these mountains are taller than 13,000 feet, 13,000 feet, and 10,000 feet respectively, they get dusted with snow a few times a year. It rarely stays on the ground for more than a few days though. Although the rest of the island chain enjoys warm tropical weather the entire year round, there have been freak cold storms a few times this century that have brought local snowstorms down to as low as 3,000 to 4,000 feet. This snow has melted very quickly, however. So I thought that was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
You know, Hawaii does see its share of snowstorms or some snow a few times a year. But
yes,
again, at the higher elevations over certain islands where those mountain ranges extend up far enough. So this particular event in December 2021 was more on the upper end of the scale, since it's typically, you know, a dusting to, you know, a few inches on the high mountain tops. This was actually a whole lot more when the National Weather Service in Honolulu was prompted to issue a blizzard warning.
An entire blizzard.
And I actually was able to capture a few things on my NOAA National Weather Service mobile site and actually download some images of the blizzard warnings that were issued by the Honolulu National Weather Service, and it was quite interesting. So Editing Kayla is going to pop them up here. When you take a look at the island chain and we zoom into the islands affected, you will see what portion of the island was issued the blizzard warning. And you can see it's definitely the high mountaintops, it's not the beaches, it's you know, not the lower elevations. So let's take a look at the setup based on what the Honolulu National Weather Service actually wrote up about this event. A strong Kona Low developed northwest of the main Hawaiian Islands and produced heavy rainfall and strong winds over many areas of the state. The main rain band hit the Big Island first on Sunday, December 5th, then shifted slowly westward across the island chain over the next 2 days. Rainfall totals were greatest over the southeastern flank of the Big Island, the south and west facing slopes of Haleakala. I said it wrong.
Haleakala.
Say it again, Kayla. What is it?
Haleakala.
What she said. And most of Oahu, with the peak day of rainfall occurring on December 6th. So this event caused major flooding and some trees down as well, but the flooding was a really big thing. Definitely on some of the islands, they saw record rainfall. It was pretty incredible. The fetch of moisture coming in and then all that moisture getting wrung out over the mountains and stuff. So yeah, lots and lots of downtown areas of certain cities were impacted tremendously. And the wind impact too, on top of it.
100 miles an hour. That's very fast wind. Dang.
That's like Cat 2 hurricane.
Or a EF 1.5.
EF 1.5.
That's the math. Almost a 2.
Continuing on with what the Honolulu National Weather Service said. One notable impact was flooding damage to the, and I'm going to try to do this as best I can, Iawale power substation, which cut electrical service to downtown Honolulu businesses and residents. Strong southerly winds also accompanied the Kona Low, causing damage and power outages. Winds were strongest on the Big Island on December 5th, with reports of large trees blown down, blocking roads. The higher elevations received their strongest winds on Saturday, December 4th. The strongest gusts measured at the Mauna Kea summit were at the Canada-France-Hawaii telescope, where an anemometer measured multiple gusts over 100 miles an hour midday Saturday. The highest was 105 miles an hour at 1:49 p.m. On Maui, rangers at, say that, Kayla?
Haleakala
National Park measured a gust to 93 miles an hour around 11 a.m. Saturday. Road crews on Mauna Kea reported snowdrifts of 3 to 5 feet when they were able to return on Tuesday, December 7th, and estimated that 6 to 10 inches of snow fell during the blizzard event. So as we just heard from the National Weather Service in Honolulu, Hawaii, they mentioned something about a Kona Low. Now for those of us that don't live in Hawaii or are not familiar with that weather around that part of the region of the world, what is a Kona Low?
A Kona Low. So in the Hawaiian language, Kona means westward, I believe. So basically it is a low pressure system or a storm that approaches from the westward side of the Hawaii chain. And because that low is pretty strong in usually the winter or the late fall, it actually causes a dip in the jet stream, which pulls really cold air down from the polar regions and up north. So it's, in simpler terms, a really strong low pressure system coming from the west that brings really, really cold air. And these are the types of storms that bring rainy weather for the lower elevations and snowy weather for the peaks.
That's very interesting, especially since most of the weather comes from the east for most of the year, but then when you get these Kona Lows,
it's actually coming from the west.
Interesting. So for this event specifically, the blizzard conditions was definitely at the higher elevations and not at the lower elevations. As you know, you read some of these articles, you actually see the headlines first to kind of grab your attention, and you see these kinds of headlines popping up, definitely grabs your attention, and you want to read the article.
It was a bit clickbaity. Of titles. Since, you know, it does actually snow in Hawaii, and, you know, this isn't completely uncommon.
Speaking of Hawaii, you're watching the first blizzard warning there in years.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. When you think of Hawaii, you think of warm, sandy beaches. But take a look at this, a time-lapse video showing snow piling up around a telescope on the summit of Mauna Kea in Hawaii's Big Island. It's nearly 14,000 feet above sea level, and that's
So we'd like to hear from you. Go ahead and comment below if you've been to Hawaii and you've experienced snow at the peaks, or any events where you've had these kind of Kona Lows causing flooding or high winds. We'd really like to hear what your experiences have been.
Yeah, since neither of us have been to Hawaii yet and experienced this ourselves. So, going off of that, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and share it with your friends. You know, watch those ads, and maybe one day we will bring to you the experience of watching a Kona Low on your YouTube screen.
That's right.
Until next time, I'm Kayla.
And I'm Jim.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you at the next Meteorology Monday. It's also where the coffee is made.
Yes. Kona coffee.
So you can associate coffee with low pressure.
That's right.